If you are a big fan of this channel, then you know that I am a big fan of G.K. Chesterton. I've done many breakdowns of his work and even interviewed the president of the American Chesterton Society. I bring this up because it may be my own projections casting shadows upon the wall, but it does seem as if I'm hearing Chesterton's name come up more and more. This happened again recently when I saw Alex O'Connor quote Chesterton to Chris Williamson in a video titled "Searching for God" with Alex O'Connor. They're discussing belief in God and Christianity when Alex says,
G.K. Chesterton said, Christianity has not been tried and found wanting. It's been found difficult and not tried. You know, because to really be a Christian is like I was saying on the podcast, it's a difficult thing to do. It's a difficult life philosophy to adopt. It demands a lot of you.
This is undoubtedly one of Chesterton's best lines, and I'm not surprised that Chris responded with intrigue and delight. But like so many delightful quotations, we seldom know the context in which they were written or said. In this video, I'm going to give you the context of that line that Alex quoted. It comes from Chesterton's book, What's Wrong with the World? Specifically Part 1, Chapter 5, named The Unfinished Temple. And I'll now share some of my favorite portions with you. Chesterton writes, "The world did not tire of the church's ideal, but of its reality. Monasteries were impugned not for the chastity of monks, but for the unchastity of monks. Christianity was unpopular not because of the humility, but of the arrogance of Christians. Certainly, if the church failed, it was largely through churchmen. But at the same time, hostile elements had certainly begun to end it long before it could have done its work. In the nature of things, it needed a common scheme of life and thought in Europe. Yet the medieval system began to be broken to pieces intellectually long before it showed the slightest hint of falling to pieces morally. The huge early heresies, like the Albigenses, had not the faintest excuse in moral superiority. And it is actually true that the Reformation began to tear Europe apart before the Catholic Church had had time to pull it together. The Prussians, for instance, were not converted to Christianity at all until quite close to the Reformation. The poor creatures had hardly time to become Catholics before they were told to become Protestants. This explains a great deal of their subsequent conduct. But I have only taken this as the first and most evident case of the general truth that the great ideals of the past failed not by being outlived, but by not being lived enough. Mankind has not passed through the Middle Ages. Rather, mankind has retreated from the Middle Ages in reaction and rout. The Christian ideal has not been tried and found wanting. It has been found difficult and left untried. The great democratic dream, like the great medieval dream, has in a strict and practical sense been a dream unfulfilled. Whatever is the matter with modern England is not that we have carried out too literally or achieved with disappointing completeness either the Catholicism of Becket or the equality of Marat. Now, I have taken these two cases merely because they are typical of 10,000 other cases. The world is full of these unfulfilled ideas, these uncompleted temples. History does not consist of completed and crumbling ruins. Rather, it consists of half-built villas abandoned by a bankrupt builder. This world is more like an unfinished suburb than a deserted cemetery. If you enjoy the work of G.K. Chesterton and want to learn more about him, please subscribe to this channel for more content like this. And if you enjoyed this video, please click that like button. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you next time.